One of the biggest concerns that I hear from my first time buyers is if I apply for a mortgage, will it hurt my credit? It is a real fear and it's totally valid because after all, you've worked so hard to build your credit up, and the last thing that you want to do is for it to take a hit even before you find the home that you love. So let's talk about it. Getting pre-approved is one of the most important steps in your home buying journey, but it is also one of the most misunderstood steps. And that's exactly why I created this video, to kind of simplify that process and to give you some information that you need before you even speak to a lender. So let's jump right in. Tip number one is that you can shop around for a loan without it completely wrecking your credit score. So a lot of people think that if you apply with more than one lender, that your score is going to drop with every pull. And that's not how it works. So credit bureaus, they do understand that when you are applying for a mortgage, that you're going to rate shop. You're going to shop around to see which one offers you the best rate. So if you apply with multiple lenders within a certain time frame, usually between 14 and 45 days, but I like to tell my clients, if you can do it between 14 and 30 days, that's more of a safer option, then it's only going to count as one hit to your credit and not multiple hits. So I also like to tell my clients to apply with, if you bank, let's just say you bank with Bank of America, try your bank. If you have a credit union, try the credit union. And then you can try, some of the mortgage lenders and brokers out there and just kind of compare each one, because you want to compare rates, you want to compare terms, and you want to compare those programs, but you don't want it to be multiple hits to your credit. And this is huge because not all lenders are the same. They're not going to offer you the same terms. So you should absolutely shop around. Just do it strategically. Hello, my name is Lynette Selby, and I am a local real estate agent right here in beautiful Greensboro, North Carolina. And I have helped dozens of first-time buyers, and can't forget my relocation buyers, purchase their very first home or even their second, third, and fourth, maybe even fifth home. So if you are considering making a purchase, if you are considering purchasing your very first home, I would love to chat with you about your home buying goals. I will leave a link to my calendar in the description box. And from there, all you got to do, click the link, of course, and schedule a call with me for a day and time that works best for you. And again, I will leave all of my contact information in the description box below. Tip number 2 is understanding the difference between a soft pull and a hard pull. So there are 2 types of credit checks. We have soft pull and hard pulls, and you really need to know the difference because the difference really does matter. So a soft pull is kind of like a gentle peek. It gives the lender like a little snapshot of your credit without them actually really causing any havoc to your score. It's not really affecting your credit score. But a hard pull is a full review of your credit history, and it can result in a very small temporary dip in your credit score. So if you are early in the process, kind of just starting to explore your buying options, ask your lender if they can do a soft pull. This is a low risk way to get a general idea of your buying power. But, when you're ready and you're really serious and you're ready to start making offers, then you're definitely going to need that hard pull so you can get an actual pre-approval letter. So timing does matter here, because you don't want to trigger a hard pull too early. Even though it's just a few points, you don't want to trigger it too early, especially if your credit is, it needs a little TLC or a little polishing first. So tip number 3 are not all lenders are created equal. So here's a truth that most buyers really have to learn the hard way, and that lender you choose is just as important as the home you buy. A good lender, they're going to explain that process to you clearly. They're going to answer questions promptly. They're going to be transparent about fees, timelines, and requirements. But a not so good lender, they may ghost you when it really matters, like when you're right there about to make an offer and you need that lender to provide some information. They may ghost you. They might not respond to emails or phone calls, and that's not good. Or they may like slide in some surprise fees into your closing documents. They're not supposed to do that, but you just never know. So look for somebody who treats you like a real person and not just a file. I work closely with lenders that I personally trust. So people like Toby Stanfield, he's with Movement Mortgage, and Debbie Owens with Prosperity Home Mortgage. They genuinely care about buyers, and they want to make sure that you get the right loan, the right terms, and they do it all the right way. And yes, you can always ask me for a referral, if you're not sure where to start. I work with a lot of really great lenders that I personally trust. So if you need help with that, just let me know and I can give you some names and numbers of some good lenders. So tip number 4 is that you do not need perfect credit to get approved. Let me say this again for the people in the back. You do not need perfect credit to get pre-approved for a mortgage. This is a big one because I've met a lot of buyers all the time who think that they need to have like a 750 or 800 plus credit score to even be considered for a loan, and that is not true. While yes, a higher credit score can give you better rates, that is a given, but I've helped buyers who had scores in the low 600s. So it really just depends on the loan program and that lender, because that is so important. So what does a lender really look for when they are reviewing your financial health? They are looking for, if you pay your bills on time. They're also checking out your debt to income ratio. Are there any red flags like recent collections? So you don't need to have perfect credit. You just need to be prepared. And that's why in my blueprint, we focus on credit prep early so you can feel confident when it's time for that hard pull. So tip number 5 is asking the right questions before you commit. So most first-time buyers, they just don't know what questions to ask that lender. And that's okay. You're a first-time buyer. You never done this before. You're not expected to be an expert, but asking the right questions can save you time, it can save you money, and it can save you stress. And that's exactly why I created a mortgage lender question checklist inside of my blueprint. So here are just a few examples. So is there a rate lock? That's a question you can ask your lender. And if so, how long is that rate locked for? What's included in my estimated closing cost? Are there any lender credits or down payment assistance options that I may qualify for? Do you charge a loan origination fee? Questions like that. So having these questions ready can definitely help you compare apples to apples and avoid any surprises later on. So here's a bonus tip. A pre-approval is not a commitment. So let me end the video with this. Getting pre-approved does not mean that you are locked in with that lender. You can and you should compare options and move forward with the lender who gives you the best service and the best terms. So a pre-approval is a tool. It is not a trap. So don't be afraid to get started just because, you're a little worried if it's too soon or if it's too risky. But when you follow a plan and have someone in your corner, this process is completely doable. So if all of this kind of still feels a little overwhelming, don't you worry. That's exactly why I created the 90-day first-time buyer blueprint, because it does walk you through step by step of each process. We're going to talk about credit prep, lender selection, and what questions to ask. This is your shortcut that I wish every first-time buyer had. A lot of first-time buyers have used this blueprint and they have found it to be so helpful. So if you are interested, you can grab it using the link in the description box below. And if you still have questions, all you gotta do is drop them in the comment section, because I answer each and every one of my comments personally. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to help you become a confident, credit smart homeowner very soon. I hope to help you do it in 2025. But thank you again for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. You take care. Bye-bye.